Hello student, today our topic is risk and return relationship. Let's start with the risk. Risk is a chance of future loss. Suppose if I want to invest in any type of securities, share, debentures and any other type of financial instrument, and if there is any chance to get loss from that investment, that is called the risk. It means any chance or probability to get loss from the investment, that is called risk. So here we have two type of risk: systematic risk and unsystematic risk. Systematic risks are those risks which cannot be controllable by the organization, and unsystematic risks are those risks which can be controllable by the organization. So, uncontrollable risks are three types: market risk, interest rate risk, and purchasing power risk. First, market risk. The variability in the security return resulting from fluctuation in the aggregate market is known as market risk. These variability may be because of recession, war, laws change in consumer preference, and so on. And second one is interest rate risk. Interest rate risk arise due to the movement in the price of the stock in the market. These movements may be long-term movements, short-term movements, cyclical movements, or intermediaries movement. Third one is purchasing power risk. A factor affecting all securities: purchasing power risk. Purchasing power risk, also known as inflation risk, like demand inflation risk and cost inflation risk. And now controllable risk. Here we have three type of controllable risk. First is business risk. Business risk, also known as liquidity risk. These risks arise because sales and purchase of security affected by business cycle and technological changes. And second one is financial risk. Financial risk, also known as credit risk. These risks arise due to change in the capital structure, such as share capital, loan fund, reserve and surpluses of the organization. And third one is operational risk. Operational risk are the risk which is due to the human error. So this risk will change from industry to industry, and it occurs due to breakdown in internal procedures, people, policies and system. So if the employees of your organization not doing their work efficiently, and the organization do not follow the legal procedures and principles, then these type of risk may arise. And now return. Return is the principal reward in the investment process. If I ask you a question, why investor do investment? The answer is because they want some benefit or profit. Those profit and benefit called return. Here the return divided into two parts: realized return and expected return. Realized returns are net actual return. So realized return is a net actual return earned by the investor over the holding period. It means realized return related to the past which already done. An expected return is an anticipated return. Expected return refer to the anticipated return for some future period. It means expected return related to the future. One more point: the expected return is estimated on the basis of actual return in the past period. It means expected return depend upon realized return. Moreover, here we have a graphic presentation of risk and return relationship. On x-axis we show the degree of risk, on y-axis we show the return. This point is risk-free point. It means here the investor gets 0% risk with very low return. From above this point, investor get low risk with the low return. And from above this area, investor get average risk with average return. And from above this area, investor get high risk with a higher return. So it means there is a direct relationship between risk and return. If investor want more risk, then he get more return. If investor get less return, then he get less return. So there is a direct relationship between risk and return. Moreover, here we have risk return relationship of different stock or different financial commodities. Here the graphic presentation shows risk on x-axis, risk premium or return on y-axis. As you already know, this point is risk-free rate of return point, where the investor get 0% risk. And this first is government security. If investor invest in government security, then he will get very low return with low risk, because the government security is near to the risk free rate of return. And next point, if bonds and debenture, if investor invest his money in bonds and debentures, then he get very low rate of interest and debentures, but more than government security, low but more than government security. And very risk is also very high or more than the government security. And as on, if the government invests his money in different securities or different stock like equity shares, preference shares and unsecured loan, then he get a different or more and more return from these security, but the degree of risk is also attached to these securities. So at last we can say that the risk premium depending upon the degree of risk attached with the investment. Moreover, here we have risk and return relationship model. This two area are comfort zone, relative comfort zone area, because here the investor get low risk, low return, high risk, high return. As we already discussed, these area depends upon the investor choice. If investor want high risk, then he also get the high return. If investor spend his money on low risky investment, then he get very low return. Now this zone is called high risk and low return zone, because these zone depend upon the nature of the project. And this zone, low risk and high return zone, depends upon the opportunities in the market. If the investor avail those opportunity or exploit those opportunity, then he will get very low risk with a high return. Here the relationship between risk and return divided into two categories: direct relationship and negative relationship. First, we already discussed that direct relationship, where with high risk, high return, low risk, low return. Now let's discuss the negative relationship. In negative relationship divided into two parts: high risk, low return. Both risk and return are opposite to each other. Low risk, low return. Let's discuss first high risk, low return. In a high risk, low return, sometime investor increase investment amount for getting high return, but increasing return he faces low return because of nature of the project. There is a no benefit. To increase investment in such type of project. For example, if 1 lakh lotteries in which investor will earn the prize if he has brought 50% of total lotteries, but if he buys 75% of lotteries, the price will be same. At increasing of risk, his investment, his return will decreases. So this totally depends upon the nature of the project which investor takes. And second one is low risk and high return. In a low risk and high return, there are some project in if investor invests low amount, he can earn high return. But these situations are very rare situations. For example, if government of India need money and government of India promised to give high return high return, then if investor grab this opportunity and invest his money, he will get high return on his small risk of loss of money. But such situations are very rare, and there are an exceptional cases rather than a rule. So we can say that high risk low return depend upon the nature of project, and low risk and high return depends upon the opportunities available in the market, which takes or which not to take by the government investor. So this is our topic, risk and return relationship. I hope you all understand. Thank you so much.